As we all know, The Simpsons is the longest-running cartoon to date, and with such age comes, shall we say, a sense of wisdom. The show has been so clever in the past that it warned us of things to come, from Donald Trump's presidency to a future Nobel Prize winner to the average texter's reliance on autocorrect. Hey everyone, this is Joe with Channel Frederator, and today we are talking about the 14 most uncannily accurate times that The Simpsons has predicted the future. Number 1. Let's start with what was one of the most distant predictions at the time of its release, smartwatches. In episode 19 from season 6, Lisa's Wedding, Lisa visits a fortune teller at a Renaissance fair. However, this is no normal fortune telling. The viewers are thrown 15 years into the future, from 1995, which was the time of the episode, to 2010. In The Simpsons version of 2010, wristwatch communication technology exists, although the smartwatches seen in the episode are clunky compared to the sleek touchscreens of modern times, having more in common with a Nokia phone or a Star Trek prop. However, Lisa's Wedding also showed the watches as having voice recognition, which was definitely ahead of the times because in real life, we didn't get that feature on smartwatches until 2014. This same episode predicted FaceTime, or generally speaking, video chat. In the episode, the future version of Lisa uses the function to talk to Marge, something done often nowadays by children and their parents, and even grandparents. Number 2. The Simpsons also foresaw the prevalence of autocorrect and the many hilarious texting fails it would induce in smartphone users. In season 6, episode 8, Lisa on Ice, Springfield Elementary bully Kearney asked fellow bully Dolph to make a note on his mobile device reminding him to beat up Martin. However, the message was lost in translation and became eat up Martha instead. This prediction is an example of one that was also invoked in real life, even though it came out back in 1994. According to Nitin Ganatra, the former iOS director of engineering for Apple, the joke became a running gag for employees when the software for the iPhone's keyboard was being developed. Eat Up Martha became shorthand for the importance of getting the iPhone's text input right. Number 3. Another far-flung future premonition was the presidency of Donald Trump in 2016, something that was originally brushed off as a ridiculous gag. In season 11's Bart to the Future, which aired in 2000, Bart flashes forward to his adulthood, and viewers see that, thank goodness, his sister Lisa becomes the president. However, she inherited a massive budget problem from her Oval Office predecessor, Donald Trump, leaving the America of 2030 fiscally crippled and relying on bailouts from other world powers. Writer Dan Greeny has explained that the joke was meant to be a warning. Specifically, Greeny noted that it was pitched because it was consistent with the vision of America going insane. Number 4. A second political prediction happened more recently, in the 2008 episode Treehouse of Horror 19 from season 20. In one of the segments, Homer attempts to vote for Barack Obama. However, the voting machine is faulty and records Homer's choice as John McCain several times. This came true during the 2012 US presidential race, in which Obama ran for re-election. Footage turned up of a machine in Pennsylvania doing basically what The Simpsons predicted, except that in the real-life instance, the vote was switched for Obama's then opponent, Mitt Romney. Number 5. A somewhat grim prediction from The Simpsons was the NSA spying scandal involving information leaks from Edward Snowden. Rather than appearing on the show, the premonition occurred on the much larger stage of the Simpsons movie in 2007. In the movie, the family escapes the EPA biodome covering Springfield and has to go into hiding. However, the NSA is able to locate Marge and the kids by listening in on a conversation. 6 years later, in 2013, Snowden exposed the widespread surveillance of America's internet and phone records. This might be one we should have taken as a warning. Number 6. In addition to major societal events, The Simpsons also predicted some major cultural touchstones in entertainment. Season 23's Lisa's Go Gaga aired back in 2012 and showed Lady Gaga performing for the residents of Springfield. No, Springfield isn't exactly the same epic stage as Super Bowl 51, but the cartoon version of Lady Gaga performed an uncannily similar routine to the one she performed in February of 2017. The performance had all the glitz and art of a typical Gaga show, and cartoon Gaga even descended from the ceiling on wires in an outfit comparable to the one she'd wear 5 years later. Number 7. Here's another prediction made from the realm of entertainment. The Simpsons foresaw the tragic and infamous Siegfried and Roy tiger attack 10 years before it happened. Back in 1993, the season 5 episode Springfield, or How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Love Legalized Gambling, featured Mr. Burns opening a casino and hiring magicians Gunter and Ernst to perform there, who bore a bit more than a passing similarity to the iconic Vegas duo. Gunter and Ernst's white tiger Anastasia is forced to ride a unicycle to please the crowd, but midway through her routine, she remembers how they captured her and vengefully pounces on the two magicians, mauling them off screen. In 2003, Roy Horn was attacked by a white Bengal tiger during their Vegas show, though luckily, he survived. Number 8. One of the more complex predictions made by Homer and company was one from the realm of physics. All the way back in 1998, the season 10 episode, The Wizard of Evergreen Terrace, featured an equation that predicted the mass of what we now call the Higgs boson, or the God particle. In that episode, Homer decides to become an inventor, and accidentally finds something that science had been looking for ages. This particle was a scientific breakthrough when it was discovered back in 2012, but The Simpsons put it on a blackboard 14 years before scientists found it. Dr. Simon Singh, author of The Simpsons and Their Mathematical Secrets, has noted that if the equation on Homer's blackboard is worked out, it results in a number only slightly larger than the nanomass of the real Higgs boson. Number 9. The Simpsons is surprisingly astute when it comes to academics. Not only did they predict the discovery of the Higgs boson, but the show also foretold a future Nobel Prize winner. In the 2010 season premiere, Elementary School Musical, Krusty the Clown gets tricked into thinking he won the Nobel Peace Prize and travels to Europe, but is arrested by the International Court of Justice and tried for deplorable behavior. Meanwhile, Lisa, Milhouse, Martin, and a computer database predict the actual prize winners, and Milhouse's pick for the economics category was Bang Holmstrom of MIT. Fast forward to 2016, and Holmstrom and his colleague from Harvard, Oliver Hart, were awarded the prize for their work on contact theory. Number 10. A recent prediction from The Simpsons is that of the FIFA scandal. This scandal, which has to do with the highest officials of soccer's international governing body being arrested for corruption, was foretold in the 2014 episode, You Don't Have to Live Like a Referee. The episode aired a year before it actually happened. In the episode, a representative from the International Football Federation turns to Homer to help with restoring the organization's image. The name FIFA is never outright stated, but the arrest of the character had a lot in common with the arrests of the real FIFA officials a year later. The episode also predicted the results of the 2014 World Cup, Germany defeating Brazil. Number 11. One of the more obscure predictions from The Simpsons was about a lemon tree getting stolen. In the season 6 episode, Lemon of Troy from 1995, the child residents of Springfield warred with their Shelbyville neighbors after the Shelbyville kids took a lemon tree that belonged to Springfield. What? Did you think that no one would ever try to steal an entire lemon tree? Well, think again, because it actually happened in 2013. Houston, Texas resident Kai Bruni had her lemon tree dug up and stolen by thieves. Much like the revenge-seeking Springfield kids, Bruni addressed the perpetrators directly. Through the local news channel, she said, "I hope you find yourself stricken with dysentery on a long drive in the middle of nowhere. If you needed my lemon so bad, I hope they serve you well." Number 12. The Simpsons predicted another weird and extremely specific event, the snake whacking contest that took place in Florida back in 2013. The season 4 episode, Whacking Day, featured Springfield indulging in the annual snake whacking event, in which citizens hunted down local snakes, rounded them up in the town square, and well, we don't really need to elaborate. Rather than simply being a farce, writer George Meyer wanted the episode to raise awareness regarding the mistreatment and abuse of snakes. That being said, Florida didn't seem to learn the lesson presented, seeing as the state's wildlife officials created the 2013 Python Challenge. Although there wasn't any malice present, seeing as the exploding snake population needed to be controlled, and hunters were encouraged to put the snakes down humanely. Number 13. Another fortune telling by The Simpsons had to do with Springfield's baseball team, the Springfield Isotopes. The 2001 episode Hungry Hungry Homer was about the town's minor league baseball team moving to Albuquerque, New Mexico to take up residence there. This came true in 2003 when the real-life Calgary Cannons moved to Albuquerque from Canada and were renamed the Albuquerque Isotopes. While it's likely that this is partially a Simpsons shoutout, the actual team was renamed as such because, much like Springfield, New Mexico also has quite a few nuclear power plants, and an isotope is the name for a radioactive element. But let's be honest, it's probably mostly a Simpsons shoutout. Number 14. Now for another funny one. The Simpsons predicted that a man would someday complain about the all-you-can-eat buffet. The 1992 episode, New Kid on the Block, was mostly about Bart getting a crush on a new neighbor, but the B plot involved Homer taking an all-you-can-eat buffet very literally. Everyone's favorite donut lover took the concept to its literal extent and ate an obscene amount of food at a Captain McAllister's all-you-can-eat seafood buffet, but Homer was kicked out before he could actually fill up, leading him to sue the restaurant. This bizarre and gluttonous circumstance came true in 2012 when a Wisconsin man named Bill Wist called the police and organized a picket protest when a similar eatery refused to keep serving him. And it's not just America either. 2 men in Brighton, England were also banned from an all-you-can-eat restaurant that same year. One thing's for sure, we should probably all heed the Simpsons warnings from now on. And there you have it, 14 times that the Simpsons, in over 600 episodes, managed to predict the future. What other things do you think will come true? Did we miss any predictions? Comment below and let us know. Make sure to click the bell icon to become part of the notification squad. We have videos dropping every day, so remember to subscribe because Frederator loves you.